But I am pretty sure this is that guy's 50th race in IIRL. So congratulations to that guy. It is his 50th race. So congratulations, that guy. Eve, Johnny.
Hello Yep, and as well to Johnny B. How are you doing? As we see that guy coming around the final sector into Jun Xiao, and about to start his first qualifying lap. You read my mind straight away, TD. As we stay on board with the Williams, it's the long straight where the DRS kicks in eventually. That is so crucial for overtaking, with energy turned on and DRS activate, approaching 320 kph as he comes down to the first corner. Very late apex, and looks like he gets a little bit of understeer in the first corner. Sets him up all right though for turn 2, and hogs the inside line all the way through turn 3 down to turn 4 with the second DRS zone open. And let's see where he brakes just before the 100-meter board. Stays in 5th gear, gives him plenty of traction coming up into the long uphill sector. And here we have the long sweeping right-hander now, where you saw completely a brilliant overtakes in real life F1. You saw Alonso go around outside of Jenson Button there once. And we have a spinner in sector 2. I don't think that should get in the way of the lap of the Williams. Running the number 30, which I don't think was ever been run in real life Formula 1. Down to another tight right-hander, and all the way downhill now into Jun Xiao he comes, and it's a 51.7 so far for the second sector. It looks like it got a little bit of understeer of the left-hander, and now it's just flat out until the start-finish straight with DRS open at the moment. What is the opening benchmark going to be as that guy comes across the line? It is a 1 minute 8.4. So first set time has been set.
John beats it straight away with a 8.1. Slew going in to third.
Jeff Hales goes third with 8.4. He's 100th down on that guy. Prevanel is late as well. Yep.
6th fastest so far, but not the most competitive time for Destined.
Let's see Greg starting a lap in his McLaren.
TV8 Tamino starting a lap, Mr. Colucci finishing a lap time, it looks like. His teammate goes 4th fastest, very good lap time by Colucci. And
Solid
Mr. Wiggles goes to second, only 4 thousandths of a second behind John. So we can already tell that it is going to be very close in this qualifying session. And by the way, Spark, he was wrong. The 30 has been run before in F1 by Jolyon Palmer himself.
Oh, it was run by Jolyon. Anyway.
Got a Red Bull starting his lap, Tenton finishing his lap, going 3rd fastest. And Top Gun, who was also known as Hungry Throne from last season, going 3rd fastest.
The need for speed there, isn't he?
Yeah, he needs actually hundredths of a second as Tamino goes fastest, and the first person into the 1 minute 7s for today.
Just notice Greg's just stopped completely just to make sure he stays out of everybody's way. Like, they're sensible, and then there's probably a bit too sensible. But anywho.
I am very well, Johnny. I think Spark is as well. What a lovely camera angle of that Red Bull there.
Yes, he's coming round down to the final sector now at 51.5, so he could be on for a good one here. It's only 0.2 faster than what that guy managed, but he did get understeer throughout the final corner. Now, I reckon this will be at least a top 5 from IIRL J. What does he do is he comes across the line. I don't think he'll get into the 1 minute 7s. He goes second with a 1 minute 8.1.
Good lap time. An attempt split in 2nd to 6th. You love to see it.
Absolutely. And just for more spice, Wiggles has just gone 0.2 up in his fastest time. That's going to put him on course to take pole position for the sprint. But he's lost it.
Very easy to lose it there. Very easy.
That was not commentator's curse. I don't care what you lot say, all right?
I think that might have been commentator's curse there.
I say nothing.
Perry Jerry going 8th fastest. And I think an Alfa Romeo is finishing his lap. Yep, Mr. Speaker coming towards the line. Did a 2:13 on his first lap, so maybe a double warm-up lap for Mr. Speaker. Goes 16th fastest at the minute. Mr. Speaker is making his debut in no assist, so good luck to Mr. Speaker.
Deflated Weed's the only one yet who hasn't been able to set a time, and I saw his spin just coming out of the exit of turn 4, so they'll ruin a set of tyres, but still got plenty of time to go out there and set a final time. So not the end of the world yet for the Haas. However, 11 minutes into the session, we've got TV8 currently on pole position with a 1:07.9, but still plenty to come for the rest of the field, especially Wiggles, who was 2/10 up before his accident.
Monkey Raja coming to the line, goes 17th fastest, but didn't have any ERS deployed for Monkey, so I think he can certainly go faster across his lap. So just whatever, watch out for Monkey who made his debut last week. Oh, and Demon is here. Evening Demon. Smaller coming to the line, goes 10th fastest with an 8.4. And we now have 4 drivers on an 1:08 8.4. I could be starting. No, I think he's starting his lap time. Yeah, just starting it now. There's a Red Bull of Destined coming to the line, who goes 6th fastest into the 1:09s. It is going well, Demon. How are you doing? Hope you are well.
Always a pleasure, mate. Never a chore. Great to see you. Spin off at turn 3 while he's going for a car. Looks like his ego is writing checks that his car can't cash.
Tamina,
I guess you can tell I'm in the middle of a Top Gun binge.
Oh, it looks like a little bit of a oversteer moment there for Tamina. Oh, and an even bigger snap there for Tamina, so that'll definitely lost him time. And he has backed out of it, which is 2nd fastest on a 1:08.0.
That guy goes 3rd fastest as well on an 8:00.0.
Oh, John on a very good lap time now, 3.5 tenths up. Oh, a big wiggle there through the final corner, the final proper corner that is. Going towards the line now, opening the DRS, might get a little bit of a slipstream there from the Aston Martin. Crosses the line, yeah, that time that he lost.
0.02 of a second.
Lost 2 tenths because of that slide, which is unfortunate for John, but we know he definitely has time in the locker for possibly
Wiggles
one
is
last
3/10 up on his best now. Oh, we could see a pole position coming here from the Mercedes. He was 3/10 up as it came through the 2nd sector rather. He hugs that inside line. We're going to easily see a time in the 1:07. He comes across the line as a 7.8.
Could have been similar to what John did, but Mr. Wiggles did it for him. IIRL J is finishing a lap time. He said he got a purple middle sector but a big side there coming out of the final corner, and he switched off his ERS, so this could be Ross into the pits or a cool down lap. Looks like he's going for a cool down lap, going for another lap next lap. We do, when he's 7 tenths up on his lap time, which will put him roughly around P11 at the minute. Opening the DRS now, taking the shortest line possible. Crossing the line, and does go 11th fastest. I must be a mind reader.
Can you predict the result for us, TD?
No, I can't quite do that. And he's starting the lap time.
200 down on his 1st sector time, but he just keeps it within the curves and doesn't invalidate. So there's plenty of time to make up in the 2nd sector, where it's where predominantly you need the downforce.
Ooh, looks like he maybe locked the rears there a little bit. Not quite hooking up the apex like he'd have wanted to. But what
Demon's
affected him
asking
too
how
much?
many. Demon's asking how many safety cars there's going to be during this event.
One in both races.
Exactly. You don't need to pull up a pole there anymore, mate.
Yeah, I was there 3/10 down on his lap time. Doesn't look to have the ERS, so that might be why he is
on his best by 0.6 of a second. So this could be a pole position here from Top Gun.
The hungry fern has turned into a top. Opens the DRS, crossing the line, and does by 0.3 of a second.
Wow.
Well, 0.2. But very impressive anyway. On a short track. It's a good lap time there, Top Gun.
If he gets pole position.
10:10 has backed off on his lap time. Smaller Smiley's on a lap time, I think.
Tamino's also at that time and is 3/10 up on his best. Could be a front row here for Tamino. In fact, it will be a front row if he didn't lose any time in the final part. He comes across the line, and yep, he's a 10th down on Top Gun.
Kept it very close to all there, wanted to do as little distance as possible. I think Flew might be on a lap. No, he's not on a lap, he's backed off. 7th position, hooks the corner up very well there. Taking as much apex as possible. Short shifting up to 4th to get as much traction as possible and get into the Lewis Hamilton Alex Albon corner.
Speaking of at said corner, I think he understeered a bit, but he's 3/10 up on his best though. But I don't think that's going to change his position.
Oh no, he's a second down at thingy, but he could have had a big snap of oversteer, a bit of slipstream there from the AlphaTauri.
But he's run out of energy coming across the line.
Stays 16th at the minute. Starting his lap, it's saying that they're on laps even though they're not. I think that guy is the first on a lap. It is. That guy is the first on a lap. Oh, and just invalidates coming out of the corner there. Could be his last lap in qualifying with only 1:25 to go. Coming to the line now, keeping as close to the wall as possible, and does go third fastest with a 1:07.7. It's a good lap there by Irish J. But can anyone else emulate Irish J to try and get that front row? A smaller Smiley is coming to the line, but he's starting his lap time.
Wiggles is on a time run, but he hasn't improved. I think he's only 2 100ths up on his best. So this won't see a change of position for as he comes across the line.
He does, just.
Oh, and he does change position, goes to P3. That shut me up.
He's on a lap time, I think. No, he's starting his lap time. This is very glitched. Oh, Mr. Speaker. Not quite sure what's happened there to Mr. Speaker, but I think he might have retired on track, which is a little bit naughty. Smaller Smiley is starting his lap time now. Joseph Hale's starting his lap time. Mr. Colucci going through sector 1. So also through sector 1, we've got every car except for Smaller Smiley on the track. Smaller Smiley is finished though, and Deflated Wee has invalidated and will start at P20 for the sprint race.
No, that's not. I thought that was Tamino that spun off in the Ferrari, but no, it was Mr. Colucci. So Tamino's still on a timed run. Top Gun is just a bit up in his first sector as he comes across the sweeping right-hander. Oh, and he's lost it. Dear, oh dear. I mean, you know what? I think this commentator's curse thing might actually be a thing.
Tamino on it, half a tenth down on his personal best. Maybe getting a bit of a slipstream here from the Aston Martin as well. He needs to start improving through this final sector if he wants to go on to pole, but backs out at it.
He's backed off.
So that is Tamino P2. What can Irish J do? He isn't improving. Will stay in P4. Mr. Colucci isn't improving. Dayman crosses the line, stays in P15. And that is the end of qualifying. That went extremely quickly.
It did go quickly indeed, and to be honest, I think very, very close. I thought that was going to be. I mean, only 6 or 7 tenths covers the top 10. Usually you get that with shorter tracks like this, but that is very, very competitive. It's always fun to...
Top Gun in the starting on pole position with TV8 Tamino in P2. Mr. Wiggles in P3 with Irish J, the reigning champion, in P4. John, the race winner of last week, in P5. 1010 P6, That Guy P7, Small Smiley P8, Perry Jerry P9, and rounded off the top 10 with Joseph Hales. And I think the big shock for everyone, Deflated Wheat in last.
It's a shame. It just messaged us in the chat. Unlucky, mate, but it's only up. It's only upwards from there. You're starting in last place, so you can only ever go up from there. And with the sprint, you can set yourself up quite well for the main event. So
1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights in Brazil. They are held for a very long time, but they are out now, and Top Gun is away with Tamino coming alongside him. But Tamino looks to have got a great start, going down the inside of Top Gun, but Top Gun keeps it around the inside of turn 2, but they are going side by side through turn 3, and this is great battle in between the two of them. Tamino trying to outdrag Top Gun into turn 4. Everyone looks to have kept it clean, and they are still going side by side, but Top Gun runs a little bit wide, and that could give them momentum to Irish J going through into turn 6, but Top Gun just keeps it ahead. Irish J sniffing all over the back of it. One looks to go down the inside, but can't make the move done. And I think we have a spinning Red Bull of Destined, or at least some kind of problem. But other than that, we look to have got through very cleanly, but it is TV8 Tamino in the lead through into the final proper corner of Junsao. But Gun with the slipstream is gaining on Tamino and could be going for a move into turn 1. He keeps gaining, he's only a 10.5 behind now, and Tamino can he get close enough? He isn't close enough just yet. But Small Smiley and John are going very close together, and Small Smiley goes past That Guy and past John, and I think That Guy's had a big problem there and has lost a second to everyone else, and John has fallen down the pack due to what happened with That Guy there. Prevanel,
oh, contact! Prevanel spun round.
Beating Prevanel, trying to go down the inside of 1010, but outbroke himself. Hit the side of That Guy, and that was nothing wrong with That Guy. What That Guy did there, and that is Prev all the way down to last now, and he's down by quite a big margin now, which is not good for his race.
Still, anything can happen. If this start was anything to go by, I mean, it is not over by a long shot. With only 3 tenths now between the Ferrari and the Haas coming down into the main straight, we could almost see an overtake here, maybe even without the DRS, as Joseph Hales just rejoined the session. It's so close between the top 2 cars. So is he going to throw it down to the inside? No, he's not. He's going to wait for the DRS zone to come before turn 4, and he's got a brilliant exit there. The Ferrari is certainly not safe as the Haas looks to retake his...
On the soft tyres, and we've got Perry Jerry on the softs, D-Bomb and Flu on the softs, Mr. Speaker on the softs, Trev on the softs, and everyone else on the medium tyres.
Yes, and Prevanel spins again at the back of the field, and Top Gun opens up the gap just a little bit on the Ferrari, and the Mercedes continues to cause yellow flags behind. The Haas has built up a healthy margin now, so it looks like he'll be safe from the lap from DRS, but Irish J not too far behind in the Red Bull. This is the stage that after everyone's gone through the start, it's about just recouping your energy and get yourself into a nice rhythm before the first round of pit stops. As the Mercedes behind still causes yellow flags. All the cars from the top 5 pretty much line astern going into lap 4. Very close racing so far.
John is right on the back of 1010, wanting to try and gain back the places that he lost, and will be wanting to catch up to that top 5. Or hoping that that guy will get a little bit of a move on and gain that time of to try and at least get into the DRS.
As things stand, John will be scoring 1 point if he finishes that way in the sprint. But he should, for now, be able to hold on to the current lead of the World Championship going into the feature event. But it's still yet all to play for, with points being awarded for the top 8 finishers, for 8 points for first place to 1 point for 8th place. I'll let you guys do the maths on the rest. As we see John still behind 1010, as 1010 tries to close behind that guy. The two Williams in 6th and 7th as things stand. Short shifting early there to make sure that he gets plenty of traction coming into Dell. John is getting very close.
A very good run.
Yeah, he has. He's taken the place. John up to 7th.
Lovely move there by John. Getting past his current championship rival, who is in P2 in the championship, moving up into P7.
And just behind Deflated Wee, he's making up some places. Oh, a bit of contact behind between Deflated Wee and Monkey Raja. And that puts the Haas down back into 18th place, which is a shame because it's making some brilliant headway in terms of positions. It's getting very lively back at the lower midfield, but back up at the front, it's pretty much status quo, isn't it?
Yeah, Top Gun's starting to try and move away from a second to TV8 Tamino, but Torino gaining that time and using the DRS and possibly some ERS to catch up to that Haas, and you know that Tamino will be wanting to gain the positions for the win. And as you could see there, just quickly, you could see that Top Gun doesn't have a lot of ERS with the flashing rear lights on the Haas. So Tamino may be going to use that to his advantage going down
and
into turn 1.
Behind as well, John has just made his way up into 6th place, having overtaken that guy. He's right on the back now of Smaller Smiley.
1010 spun out of turn 6, and that has lost him a lot of places and a lot of time, and he's at 8th place.
So my math is right, with Iros J in 3rd and John in 6th, that's going to affect Ted 10's position in terms of the championship. He may drop a few places as we get back to the action up front. Iros J is now 2/10 behind as John passes that guy for 5th place. He is certainly a man on the move, and not far now before everyone has to come in and do their mandatory stop in this amended sprint race.
Yeah,
John now up into...
First stops from Smaller Smiley and Perry Jerry, very early I'd say. But not a problem for them, as Tamino has got past Top Gun once again. They've swapped positions for the lead, and Iros J is just sticking back and just hoping that they both get into trouble.
It's amazing to see how close the top 4 are at the moment. Only about 3 to 5 tenths in it between each driver. Now, the more these guys fight, the more that's going to help John catch up. And with 10 laps to go in the sprint, that is really going to help the McLaren regain some points back in the sprint. And as you can see behind, the Haas, it's got DRS kind of almost going off the track. Almost to fight there, you have to go way off the track. So I wouldn't say that's too dangerous. So I don't think the stewards will be getting involved there. As he goes down the inside, he's going to get himself set up pretty well as Iros J is right behind the Haas, and now it's going to be about 2-3 abreast coming into turn 4. The Ferrari defends to the inside. The Haas tries to go around the outside, and he almost makes it stick. Wow, what a move from Top Gun as the top 3, nose to tail, up into Sector 2. What brilliant racing there. Unbelievable.
What a move by the Haas driver. Gets back his P1 and it will not go down without a fight. He wants this P1 in the sprint race to try and get the P1 for the proper race. As Iros J goes down the inside of Tamino, can't quite make the move done. Maybe a little bit of contact between the two, but stays in P3. But now Mr. Wiggles is sniffing all over the back of that Red Bull. We've seen a Mercedes and a Red Bull come together on Brazil. Let's hope it doesn't happen again.
You had to bring that up.
We have to.
Wiggles 3/10 behind IIRL J. The DRS zone still there. Tamino goes a little bit wide. Could that give an opportunity to IIRL J in the Red Bull? Doesn't quite look like in this time.
To Top Gun as well.
7/10 is the gap there, and John 2.7 seconds behind this pack. So
starting to pull up a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, he's slowly bringing himself back into it. Well, but these guys fighting, all that's going to do is lose them time to the McLaren.
Which I'm sure John won't be complaining. He'll want to try and catch up as quickly as possible to try and gain as many points as possible for his championship fight.
Mr. Speaker's just come back onto the track.
Tamino spins.
No way!
He's just spun out of the tricky and very fast sweeping left of turn 11, I think it is, but he is now down to P6, and that has gained John another position in this race. And Tamino comes into the pits, probably for the soft tyres, but that is unfortunate for Tamino, and that has helped Top Gun a lot, as he is now just on the verge of 1 second, and IIRL J doesn't have the DRS back straight. So that bit IIRL J's first place in the sprint gone, or can he try and gain the position, the time back?
But this is the time. This is the sign more than anything that those tyres, those on the mediums, their tyres are starting to fall off the cliff. If you can extend ideally by about another lap, then you'll be good to get to the end of the race with a decent state on the softs. But that is costly for TVA. It's dropped him down to 15th with that pit stop as well. And he'll have to take those soft tyres much longer than anybody else. So that spin has cost him very deeply for this Brazilian Grand Prix.
Evening, TJ. Hope you are well. And evening, Novatech.
It's my Alfa Romeo teammate. How you doing?
John into the pits then. The first of the top 5 coming into the pits, maybe making a gamble, maybe going for an undercut on these drivers. Needs to try and do something if he wants to gain the time and get in front, and this could be the strategy that he needs to try and do. We have a Mercedes round. Yeah, that's right.
I don't think they'll be as hard to warm up as well with the softs. I think that's my experience has certainly been on this game. He comes out in traffic though, so that's far from ideal. He comes out just behind the Aston Martin of Monkey Raja, and Smaller Smiley is also in front of him in the Alfa Romeo. Not ideal for him. He's got to clear these cars quickly if he needs to make this undercut work.
Well, he's trying to go around the outside of Monkey Raja going into turn 5, which would have been a very impressive move, but can't quite make the move done. And he is getting held up a lot here, which isn't helpful for John. But what will the top 3 do now? Top Gun is into the pits and Mr. Wiggles, but IIRL J choosing to stay out, which is an interesting strategy call for IIRL J.
I think if he had DRS and if he could make it stick, then why not? I mean, I'd rather, you could almost think to go, the way with those cold tyres was, it's almost better to go longer on the one set of tyres, so you could overcut and not have to worry about warming them up as much. And Mr. Wiggles has certainly taken his time in the pits. I don't know if he had a penalty or something. He took such a long time, and he's changing his front wing. We're about to see a massive shake-up of the order here. So just to explain to TJ what's happened. The lobby glitched in the middle of the sprint, so we had to switch to a 25-lap race, as Top Gun remains ahead of Mr. Wiggles, and Greg is right in between the two right now. So that's going to do Top Gun a massive favour, and definitely building that second buffer that he needs to keep him out of his DRS.
Wiggles gets past Greg. but it has lost him time to Top Gun, as you say.
And IIRL J's in the box right now. Let's see how well the stop goes. I'll go on board with him.
John right behind Smaller Smiley now, and as you say, he came out in traffic. He'll be wanting to try and get past, and he does look to be getting past.
It's a good stop. It will be neck and neck though between IIRL J and the Haas. The Haas comes around the start-finish straight now, but that has crucially put IIRL J into second. One more lap he's done on that soft set of tyres, so he'll need to spend this lap warming them up. However, he's right in the hunt with this, and that one lap of difference in the tyres could make all the difference.
Retiring in the pits. This wasn't to be for deflated in this sprint race, but he has got a 50%. So hopefully a better race for him in there.
Absolutely. Prev has glitched, as I think Prev is still alone in the back as well. He's ghosted as well, so I'm not quite sure what's happening with him there.
Prev is lapped.
So
that's why he's ghosted.
Okay, so now this is the fight for P1. Coming up to lap 14 of 18. Top Gun versus IIRL J versus Mr. Wiggles. This is going to be the heavyweight fight that will see who starts the main race on pole position.
That guy getting very close to the back of Smaller Smiley on them old medium tyres now. That guy on the new soft tyres will be wanting to try and get the move done on the Alfa Romeo. Goes to the outside of the Alfa Romeo, but can't get the move done into turn 4. But we'll be wanting to try and get past as quickly as possible. Ooh,
so
Mr. Wiggles.
Done 7 laps on his tyres. Oh, Wiggles has got a time penalty. So as long as John catches up, that can see Wiggles down 4th place.
Yeah, it could. That definitely affects his chances of starting P1.
So he's got to go like the absolute clappers at the moment if he wants to stay in 3rd position for the main race. It's 1.2 seconds now, covers the top 3. Still things remain more or less status quo at the front. And now Top Gun has a 3-second time penalty. All IIRL J has to do now is stay within 3 seconds and he'll win the sprint. Mistakes starting to creep in for everybody now. Interesting stuff.
That guy now does get past the Alfa Romeo, but the Alfa Romeo is coming back at him, going into turn 4 and gets the move back done. So lovely racing between the Williams and the Alfa Romeo. With TV at Tamino right behind. Either. Yep, that is correct.
5-lap-old softs though. His tyres will be crying by the end.
Ooh, Smaller. Just goes for a spin there. Coming out of that tricky left-hander of turn 9. Not ideal for Smaller, maybe his tyres being very worn, and that has dropped him down to P10. 10-10 right on the back of Joseph Hales in the Alpine.
Just notice the flashing on IIRL J's car at the back. He's really struggling with energy, and interesting, if you're behind DRS, normally you should be able to save. I guess he's having to expend a little bit more just so we make sure he stays with it. As Monkey Raja makes the mistake in the Aston in 18th place. But all IIRL J needs to do now is stay within 3 seconds and don't make any mistakes or any cutting corners or whatever, and he should win the sprint race. So it's almost like he's got one hand on the trophy here, saying check before checkmate or whatever you want to call it. But having seen these cars coast together, one mistake and they're through, just makes for brilliant viewing, especially on the track where you can get such brilliant racing.
10-10 does get past Joseph Hales up into P8 and will be getting 1 point for his efforts so far, which is still positive for 10-10, and they'll be hoping for more in the real race.
as TV8 Tamino is right on the back of that guy now in the Williams. I think he made a mistake coming out of Zheng Xiao with 2 laps to go in the final, in the sprint race. And he's about 4 tenths behind now, the Ferrari. So he just needs to clear him up, although he can salvage 5th position. John in the McLaren has fallen a little far behind, so I don't think he'll be able to get onto the podium this race. It's all about the top 3. So I think Mr. Wiggles is safe in P3, but Top Gun is not getting away from IIRL J, so looks like that may change the racing order.
Be interesting to see what IIRL J does, whether he'll just stick behind and just get the position on penalties, or whether he will go for the move. It's always better just to go for the move and be in front on track, I would say.
Yeah, it's always, I know he's got the race won if he stays like this, but it's all about pride, isn't it? And speaking of which, he's going to line him up for a move now into the first corner.
Just sticks behind.
Oh, he backs off.
Yeah, just sticks behind.
Oh,
just
see what
to be
he's doing
sensible.
because of the DRS. Because of the DRS in the second straight here, he doesn't want the Haas to get it. But what's he going to do? He's out.
He's just being sensible, I think. I think he's just staying behind and getting him on penalties. Keeping it clean, which is what you need to do sometimes.
Look how close he is at the back. This is nice. That extra lap on the top. That extra lap on the mediums is paying dividends for IIRL J.
Oh, and he goes down the inside. On the last lap. Into turn 10. Gets a move done. Lovely stuff there by IIRL J. And that does get him up into P1. So lovely stuff by IIRL J there as he comes round Zheng Xiao for the final corner of the sprint race as Pevenel crashes out. But it is going to be IIRL J who crosses the line to win the sprint race, and Top Gun maybe might have run out of fuel as Mr. Wiggles gets him on the line. So I think Top Gun might have run out of fuel there and has dropped down to 3rd position. John in P4, Tamino P5, Perry P6, that guy P8. 10 drops to P9 with his penalty, and Smaller Smiley jumps up into P8. Joseph Hales P10, P11 Mr. Colucci, P12 AMS D-Bomb, Flew P13, Greg in P14, Destin P15, Dayman coming home in P16, and Mr. Speaker in P17, and Monkey Raja in P18.
That was quite entertaining, wasn't it?
The whole thing, the whole weekend sort of thing, the whole series. I don't know how you want to call it.
We'll just do one driver of the day, fair play.
Yeah, we'll just say that, that's a lot easier to say.
Do you remember, I think it was in 2021 when they had the Speed King award or something for the sprints?
Yeah. I think that went to Max Verstappen, if I do remember rightly. There is IIRL J in P1 then. Mr. Wiggles in P2, Top Gun in P3. Top Gun getting fastest lap for the sprint race, but obviously that doesn't count to a point. He just gets it on merit, which is nice to see, really. The 2 DNFs that we had are Deflated Wee and Prevenel, who crashed on the last lap, which is unfortunate for him.
That is a shame. But there's always the feature race when there's more laps. So...
Always the feature race. Keep it in a straight line and you'll at least be doing something good. This one, as I did the sprint.
Ah, fair enough, mate. That's real kind of you. See TJ getting a bit cheeky on the chat, so give us retires if he gives a front wing. So with 5 red lights on, They go out, and we are underway for the Brazilian Grand Prix as IIRL J leads him off the front. Brilliantly start from him as Top Gun comes up behind in third position there. Everything's slightly line astern coming up the order. As you see, John fighting with Tamino for fourth and fifth. I think the Ferrari is just about ahead, but the McLaren has the inside line coming into turn 4. IIRL J remains on to the lead. Wiggles in second, Top Gun third, TV Tamino in fourth. As this Mr. Wiggles goes outside the track, just about keeps it on there. Everyone pretty much line astern. And we have an incident in the back, and that is Destin PRDM. That is, oh, I think he's just about held it, and it doesn't look like he's got too much damage there, thankfully. But that could have been a nasty. It was between him and I think it might have been a Haas. But Joseph Hale looks like he was involved in that. And has he had any damage to his front wing? Because if he did, then he's clearly taken a page out of my book. Getting back up to the front, that's the end of lap 1. So IIRL J comes across in the lead, and everyone is split by roughly 6 or so tenths apiece. As you can see, Joseph Hales has gone off in the Haas, and Mr. Colucci down as well. That's the first lap complete. IIRL J in the lead, Mr. Wiggles in second, Top Gun in third, TVA in fourth, John in fifth, that guy in sixth position, followed by Perry Jerry in seventh, 1010 in eighth, ninth is Smaller Smiley, and Flew the Alpine is in 10th position. As we see an overtake potentially from Perry Jerry, no, he slots in behind. On to lap 2.
That was a lovely start. Top Gun losing the position, no, keeping in third, but it's right on the back of few medium runners, which is interesting to see. Top Gun going the opposite strategy to the top 2, which is interesting to see, as Perry Jerry and that guy getting very close to each other at least, but can't quite get the move for Perry Jerry. As Greg just connects, so I'll just send it. TV Mino and Mr. Bulls on the back of their opponents.
IIRL J right behind. I'll have to wait. I think he's going to wait for the DRS. No, he's going to throw it down to the inside. Mercedes across Red Bull, and this time it don't make contact going into turn 2. So that is how you do Hamilton and Verstappen, but that actually gives the Red Bull DRS coming into turn 4. Is he going to be able to retake the move? How hard is the Mercedes going to defend? Doesn't go for the move, and that puts Mr. Wiggles up into the lead.
And Top Gun is also right on the back of IIRL J, so IIRL J may be struggling a little bit on these medium tyres, may not be as comfortable as what it was in the sprint race, and Top Gun wanting to get that move done. Oh, Tamino nearly running into the back of the Haas there. They were close for the whole of the race, pretty much the whole of the start of the race in the sprint, and now they are back with each other.
Lovely move from Perry Jerry as well, going into 6th place. He overtook that guy coming into the right-hander just after turn 4. So that puts him into 6th position as the top 5 continue to run line of start. And look at the lead that Wiggles has pulled out already.
I was about to say that then.
Absolutely.
And
See,
Top
Owen
Gun's
just
gonna have
joined.
a
How are you
move.
doing, mate? Oh, Top Gun goes around the inside. Goes around the inside of IIRL J, and crucially,
does
he's
look
within.
to be struggling.
Yeah. Crucially, Top Gun is within Wiggles' DRS, so he'll be safe from IIRL J.
Yeah, looks to be struggling, does IIRL J, which is completely opposite to what we saw in the sprint race. So maybe struggling to get temperature or the high fuel completely different to the sprint race, but he doesn't look as comfortable as what he did in the sprint. But John definitely looks comfortable right on the back of TV at Tamino, and they will be wanting to get their points.
Between Smaller Smiley Flow and 1010, all starting. I think they're all starting on the hard compound tyres.
Flow on the mediums.
There's quite a lot. Flow on the mediums. We've also got IIRL J and Wiggles on the mediums, as well as Perry Jerry. A lot of people starting on the hard, so they're favouring that alternate strategy.
We've got a lovely train from 11th down and up to 2nd, which is lovely to see. Everyone in DRS keeping it close. I love to see some close racing.
It's almost like watching Formula 1 esports with how close it is. As as Joseph Hales is going slowly in the Alpine. He's got to make sure he stays out of the way as the leaders are coming across to him right now. As crucially, Tamino is right on the back of IIRL J.
And IIRL
and
J's
he's got the
fallen
hards
out of
on.
a second, hasn't he? With Tamino of
Yeah.
Top Gun. He's really struggling with this high fuel.
Oh, well, it's glad to see him still commentating. Well, thank you very much, mate. It's great to have you on board with the live stream. Always a pleasure, my friend. Never a chore. And wow, that's just wondering, how's IIRL J potentially got damaged? Because he's dropped nearly 3 seconds off the lead now, and just looking at the back of his car, he's flashing, so he's run out of energy. As Tamino goes into third.
And John's coming as well.
Yeah, there he goes down the inside, and the McLaren is up into fourth now. It's all coming back to him just as it was in the sprint. But I doubt he'll be getting third position here because he's just too far back with the DRS. It's got another yellow in sector 2. I think that's Joseph. Again. Yeah, I think he's just trying to stay out of everybody's way.
It just hasn't been the race for Joseph, which is unfortunate to see. Oh, what
and
a lovely game.
Measure, he's got a 10-second penalty.
What a lovely game.
It's almost like when the FIA put out a tractor and blamed Pierre Gasly for it. Crucially, Top Gun right on the back of Mr. Wiggle. So is it tyre temps he could be struggling with on those mediums? Because I know the hards are not as susceptible to high tyre temperatures, but it just depends on how they're inflating them, to be honest. But 6/10 now between the top two, and crucially, Top Gun is on the hard compound tyre.
When IIRL J pits and retires.
He's retired. Really?
Maybe
That's
just one
unusual.
versus IIRL J's day. He just might have not been liking it. But that was very unusual to see. For IIRL J. It just hasn't been the start of the season that he'd have liked. It's just unfortunate.
No, that is a shame. And before he came into this, season as third in so far in the standings. But unfortunately, with him retired, he's not going to score anything, and that puts Wiggles in the prime seat, and John with fourth place, who looks like he'll score big as well. Tamino will bank well if he stays where he has been in third position. And with only a second now between the two, looks like Mr. Wiggles has edged out just a little bit now on Top Gun.
They look to be pulling away to the top two from the rest of the pack. And John looks to be right on the back of TV8 Tamino in the McLaren, going for the P3 that he wants to get. Going down the inside, TV8 Tamino, very nice. Very nice defender there, keeping it around the outside. But John does have the DRS going down into turn 4. TV8 Tamino defending to the inside very quickly. But with that DRS and possibly ERS, no contest, like Clark says. John up into P3.
Yeah, I thought he had that very well planned there. He thought if he couldn't overtake him around the inside, he set him up brilliantly to cover him up for turn 3. And he got a massive drive out there, which really helped him almost clear him before he even went into the corner there. So lovely bit of driving there from John.
Slowing a little bit now.
Oh, so IIRL J forgot a setup, and he has retired, which is a massive shame.
That's annoying for IIRL J for getting a set up.
Yeah. Okay. That's the Owen. Co-op anytime soon? I don't really do co-op much anymore. It's mainly sort of league racing, playing other games. But I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I fancy a co-op anytime soon. So back to the race. That's a shame for IIRL J, who sadly missed his setup, and that's why he obviously struggled there.
I tell you what, John is starting to take little tiny chunks out on the lead. It's now at 3.5 seconds to Top Gun.
I thought he was 3 seconds before.
Was he 3 seconds before? I thought he was about 4 seconds before, but that might have been me just thinking that.
I thought it was 3, me.
Well, we'll never know, I can't remember.
I
Do you
will
want
say
to
off,
join
can
the
he join the
stream,
stream?
Joss? Do you want to join the stream? If you want to join the stream, we will have 3 streamers. That is fine by me.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Let's get him on.
If you want to join, Ross, then just let me know, and I'll send you a quick invite to the party.
So I can invite him. You just keep the you can keep the
Yeah,
action on the screen.
John then trying to pull away a second to Perry Jerry. Perry Jerry looks to have some good downforce through his middle sector and just gain little chunks of time, but maybe he lost a little bit there and is close to a second away from John. Will be wanting to try and keep in that second to stay in front of TV8 Tamina.
As Mr. Colucci spins in the back, and Joseph Hales is not having a good day.
Just isn't to be for Joseph. He's just not liking it around this track.
Well, I have to say, this...
What a lovely game.
Yeah. I have to say, this game is very, very tricky when it comes to things like, you know, like just driving, just playing the game. Like, it's just a convoluted way of saying that the game's definitely a lot more difficult than 2021.
And we have now got Mr. Irish J in the party. Hello.
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 Hi.
Hopefully everyone can
I'm
hear
right,
him.
but
We can hear you on the stream.
oh really?
Yes, we can hear you, which is lovely.
Yes.
We don't have the problems like we had with Spark.
Oh, was Spark having problems?
He did
That
last
was on the
week,
first
so-
stream. Yeah, that was on
Ah.
the first one.
I should probably get back in the game.
Yeah,
oh,
possibly.
Wiggles has made a mistake. Wiggles has made a mistake, and that could give the lead to Top Gun. Made a mistake coming out of Jun Xiao. He hasn't got DRS though. But however, the gap now is only 0.4 of a second. Come to the second DRS zone, and Top Gun, we could see him taking the lead here.
Once again in the Haas. Wanted to gain back his P1 that he got from pole position. But isn't quite close enough at the minute. Deflated Wii now starting to gain positions. Up into P11 now for the Haas driver. Just getting past Prev, but has to go defensive towards the inside. Can he keep it down the inside going into turn 4? No, Prev keeps it around the outside, but goes off the track. Could be gaining an advantage there. Now
Might
they're
have to
going
give the
side by
place up.
side into turn 6. Deflated keeping it around the outside. Oh, a bit of contact there.
Oh, lovely.
But Prev keeps in front for the time being.
It's a close call. If I were him, I'd probably give that place up. Because he had
Oh,
to go off
oh.
track to maintain it.
Deflated goes for a dive bomb there going into turn 10, but can't quite keep the move. Maybe a bit too much speed there for Deflated.
Exactly. Punch and counter punch.
Can go for the move into turn 1 though.
If I was deflated though, you'd hold back on this move though.
Yeah.
Or he's
Going
actually
for a
gone for
move
it.
though. He's gone for it. Going down the inside. And he gets the move
Prev's
done.
gonna find it easier to get back though.
Yeah, like he did last lap. Can Trev come back to the outside? He's got the DRS. He's got more ERS than Deflated. Can he keep
Maxim
it
going
around
to
the
the
outside?
outside.
Oh!
Oh,
Very close
Just
to
keeps it
contact.
on. He almost makes it stick.
it's gonna go around outside again.
This is lovely racing between the two. But Deflated stays in front for the time being. But while we're
Wiggles has
watching
made a
this,
mistake. Oh,
Yeah. He's got a time penalty as well. And there's
Yeah.
only 3/10 now.
that 3 seconds
Mr.
could be
Colucci.
crucial for Wiggles.
fighting for the undercut.
Oh yeah, he's on the medium tyres though. So Top Gun staying
24
out on the
20
hards.
23 laps or so on the mediums. Certainly an early undercut, but let's see if it pays off for him.
John then moving up into P2. with Perry behind him in the Aston. Where does Wiggles come out then? He looks to have just come out behind deflated wing. So
That's
that
not
could
ideal if he wants to do
him.
the undercut.
Yeah, could compromise
Yeah, he needs
him.
to make the move quick.
He needs to get it done fast, and he's got to do it on cold tyres as well.
He's got his teammate right behind him as well, which isn't ideal. If Prev thinking sensible, he might just stick behind for the time being. But yeah,
and ironically, he's stuck behind a Haas.
as you say. Oh yeah, his Top Gun's teammates are deflated. Might actually. Oh, and he's spun!
lost it!
Oh!
He's lost it. Out of turn 10, cold tyres, cold hards.
That is one of the easiest corners to lose it on.
It is. It
Dear,
is
oh
indeed.
dear.
That will have lost him a lot of time
comes
now.
into the pits, and that could put John theoretically into second place.
John is doing well though to keep the gap to Top Gun.
Yeah,
He
keeping
is,
it
yeah.
very consistent.
He's actually pulling it back.
He needs to try and get a keep out of a second of TV8 Tamino, but doesn't want to have the Ferrari on the back of him fighting him.
It's looking good for Top Gun though, because John, like you said, is going to have Tamino nipping at his heels, so he could just build the gap from there.
10-10 starting to pull it back a little bit as well, is on the back of his teammate in P5. His teammate does have a penalty, so it would get him if the results were to stay like this. But Flu is also on the back of 10-10. It's good to see Flu doing good.
Absolutely, Tamino's in DRS now.
Destin retires in the pits, so not a good day for the Red Bull boys.
The Red Bulls.
Don't talk about it.
Hale says 0 luck again tonight. Sadly, sorry things didn't go your way, mate. But there's always next week, as Wiggles does the fastest lap in the Mercedes. 3.6 now, the gap between the top two. So,
He's
like
gained
you
4
said,
tenths.
Yeah,
4 tenths in a lap. So it's coming to John now.
trying to catch up to him, but it seems that Top Gun's a little bit slightly faster in the middle sector, I'd say. So maybe a little bit more downforce for Top Gun.
I was running a higher downforce and Top Gun didn't really pull away. So
Yeah. So possibly a bit more downforce from Top Gun compared to John.
I think with John knowing that Tamino is behind him, it's almost like, come on, he's got to get
Oh,
moving.
Top
Now
Gun
you see
pits.
Top Gun
Top Gun
coming into the
Early
pits.
pit stop. Very early.
Very early.
yeah, that
20 laps on them medium tyres. They aren't going to be very nice. That is if he goes onto the mediums. And he does.
I think the pit stop strategy was a 17 laps on the mediums.
Right. So he is going to be stretching them a little bit.
Yeah.
But if they are going to be very nice towards the end, then medium tyres. And oh, almost runs into a wall there on the exit. Oh, and he's spun in the pit lane.
Oh, yeah.
He spun in the pit lane, hit the wall, and lost a
I was going to give it to
bunch of
John.
time. And Mr. Wiggles might even get in front of Top Gun even after his spin. Coming out of the pits, a side by side going into turn 4. Mr. Wiggles' warm tyres keeps it around the outside, and he does. Even after his spin, he's in front of Top Gun.
Red light flashing now.
Yeah, red light flashing. Oh, Top Gun tries to go around the outside there.
Oh, Wiggles!
Oh, Wiggles!
He's made a
Big
mistake,
snap.
he's gone round. Oh.
This is
Now
very
quick.
entertaining.
Let's give it back to Top Gun on those on those mediums now. Wiggles on the hards. Yeah, they're warmer, but he's not going to have the amount of grip as the medium tyre. And this is changing all the time. This is great stuff.
This is playing beautifully into John, as he said, Ross. He's now in the net lead and just needs to keep in front of Tamino if possible. And this could be the race to lose for John, and it could be 2 race wins in a row.
I tell you what, like Tamino being stuck behind John is really playing into his hands because with every time he's in the DRS, he's just saving that little bit more energy than the guy ahead of him.
John just had a big snap.
That definitely won't help him. He's lost a couple of tenths there compared to Tamino. Now down to 6 tenths. Needs to try and build it up a little bit, going through this middle sector as he doesn't want to be vulnerable into turn 1. And 1010 is also right on the back of his teammate.
With 7 tenths, he's pretty close to the danger zone, isn't he, for DRS to overtake?
Yeah,
I mean, after the second one at least.
But he has pulled 2 tenths compared to Tamino, so maybe more less downforce for John, like we said earlier, compared to Top Gun. So that downforce advantage compared to Tamino is definitely helping him out to prevent an overtake happening.
Oh, no, he's had a massive snap.
That's a commentator's curse there, Ross. That's your first one. That's your first one you've committed in the comms box.
But those 4 temps, now he's 9 temps.
For those watching the stream, it's not just me, okay?
Perry Jerry then right on the back of Trevor Nell. Perry Jerry on new hard tyres.
Another penalty for Wiggles.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Trev staying in front then. Oh, and goes off the track again. Like he did earlier.
Oh, around the outside.
Oh, can he keep it done? Perry Jerry around the outside. Oh, very nice move. Lovely
that
stuff
was lovely
there, Barry
stuff.
Aston. Lovely
Really
stuff.
You see Top Gun is lurking all around the back of the Mercedes. You can tell he's got the more grip as he almost goes into the back of him.
He's just wanted to get past anywhere.
Into the pits.
Oh yeah, Tamino into the pit lane. Good spot
Along
there.
with 1010.
I think 1010 might be going for the undercut on his teammate.
We'll see Top Gun easily past the Mercedes. That will help him when it comes to any kind of over or undercut because he obviously lost time coming out of the pit lane. But where's he going to come out with relation to the Ferrari? I think Ferrari's going to be just about ahead, isn't he?
Looking like it for the time being, as long as Tamino doesn't make a mistake. It's going to be close between him and Perry Jerry. Oh, Tamino's pushed the pit lane as well!
Now.
Oh my god.
And Tamino's got front wing damage.
Front wing damage, yeah.
Oh,
that's such a
two
shame.
costly errors.
What is he doing here? He needs to get going. He's breaking all the boards.
I don't exactly know what he's doing here.
I think he might give it up.
Yeah, I think he's might.
Oh, and Wiggles has made a mistake.
And yeah, I think Tamino's.
Tamino needs to hurry up and get back to the pits before he causes a safety car.
And now, with that in mind, John's coming into the pits, and this should see him comfortably back into the lead.
Oh! Prev around.
Oh, yes. And that
he's
also
minus a front wing.
Top Gun right behind Perry Jerry, going down into turn 1. Perry Jerry to the inside, but Top Gun just kicked it around the outside, more speed.
Come out front.
Yeah, I think he is. I just see him now coming out of the pits.
And he is in front. Just about. Mr. Wiggles retires in the pits. And John has got a second gap to Top Gun, but has 4 lap fresher tyres, which could be crucial towards the end of the race. 10-10 of that guy.
How much is 4 laps of wear on the medium tyre? About like 12-15%?
Something like that,
roughly,
I think.
Yeah. So Wiggles is out and Tamino is out. We were sure that those people were on for a win. But Top Gun with the warmer tyres, or if it's a little snap there, they might put him out of the DRS zone. But this is looking great for John now, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Perry Jerry also having a great race. He's in a net P3 at the minute. So that's a good, very, very strong race from the Aston Martin driver.
Maybe smaller Smileys. He's on 21 laps now on those hard tyres. Maybe stretching out to the soft tyres.
A quick look at the time penalties. That guy 6 seconds. Mr. Speaker 3. Prev and Monkey also with 3. Position changes. Deflated up 13 positions. Very strong from Deflated. Getting that comeback drive after qualifying and the sprint, but does still need to pit.
We'll give him the Lewis Hamilton award for comebacks, depending on where he finishes.
Mr. Wiggle says silly teammate, so possibly contact with Prev.
Someone might get their collar felt by the stewards for that one. And
Top
Top
Gun.
Gun's made a
Prev.
mistake.
Or retire in pit lane.
Top Gun's just fallen out for 1 second there of John. And he's going to have
Top Gun's going to really struggle here getting to the end on them tyres.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, definitely.
I think he might struggle getting back into the DRS of John as Small Smiler pits from the lead, and John is back into the lead of his race. And he is falling even further out of the DRS. Like I was saying, it's now 1.3 seconds, and he needs to have a monster middle sector if he wants to try and get back into the DRS.
In terms of other battles on the track, that guy is only 3/4 tenths behind his teammate 10-10, but he has got a penalty of 6 seconds, so you can overtake him, but he's got to pull out a hell of a gap to keep that 4th position. But you're right, Perry Jerry is having a brilliant race in the Aston Martin. 3rd place, while the cars behind him are on fresher rubber, that guy's still got that penalty, so he could be on for about a good 3rd, 4th place.
Yeah, 10-10 is starting to gain on him slightly.
Last season we did notice the hard tyres really did come back at the end compared to the mediums.
Yeah.
It was best being on the hard tyres and on the end at the end.
Yeah, could we see the same again? Could Perry Jerry catch back up to Top Gun?
Hmm. 1.2 now between the top two. Top Gun's slowly coming back into it, but he's going to have to take so much life out of his tyres to make that happen. He could be a sitting duck by the end, to your point, TD.
Yeah, Perry Jerry just over 3 seconds away from him now. But like you say, worn tyres at the end could make him very vulnerable. But 10-10 is starting to catch up to Perry Jerry even more. But does need to keep the life in his tyres.
There's been a lot happening on this sort of middle part of the race. There's been so many retirements so far. We've had 7 cars retired this race. That's probably more than Azerbaijan.
That guy's just keeping with his teammate, which I think is quite sensible. Oh, 10-10 just gets a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah.
And they said a 10-second, and I've seen Joseph get too many of them, that's why.
I have to say, Flo's having a very consistent race in the Alpine, but he's got Smaller Smiley behind him, who is on 2-lap-old medium tyres, so he's going to be very fast coming at the end, and who knows, maybe he can catch up to both of the Williams ahead. He could be on for a good result here.
Well, if he can keep within the 5-6 seconds of Flu, then he can definitely get a good result. I mean, of that guy. But yeah, Smaller Smiley right in the back of Flu. On the fresher tyres around the outside.
No contest.
No contest.
It's going to be hard for Flu here to get back.
Yeah, it would be.
With the traction of the mediums.
Let's say he's still about 5/10 back, so he's done well, all things considered. But like I said, I don't think he's going to be able to overtake him. No, I think I'll have to settle for 7th.
10-10 nearly in DRS of Perry Jerry.
We did see him clawing it back a little bit to Perry Jerry, and it looks like he is gaining it, like he said, Ross. Trying to get in that 1 second window, and it looks like he's just got it.
He's just in it.
Just got it, which will be very helpful for his race, but he does need to pull 3 seconds if he wants to try and get in front of Perry Jerry.
The wear will be almost identical with 7 lap mediums and 12 lap hards. They'll be pretty close, I think, in terms of overall wear, but as mediums and mediums, they'll have that little extra pace. 5 tenths now, the gap between 10-10 and Perry Jerry. I got a feeling we'll see an overtake coming in at least by the end of by the start of the next lap. Just speaking now,
Perry Jerry there, mistake.
Yeah, I saw that. Now puts him right on the back foot. Williams is right on his gearbox.
We're going to see a dive bomb.
And Top Gun has just got within a second now of John's DRS. So we go, this will be a pretty quick overtake from 10-10.
Ten goes for the move.
Ooh,
bit of a
big snap.
I think a bit of a lock of her ears there, and he gets the move done, but he is going to be vulnerable down to turn 4, it looks like. And that guy following his teammate
as well.
A little bit of a jerk there by Perry Jerry, maybe off-putting that guy. That guy following his teammate through, and them two will want to pull as much of a gap as possible to Perry Jerry.
Yeah. But the Aston Martin was boxed in there by the other Williams overtaking him, so there's nothing he could do. Top Gun gets a time penalty.
And that is music to John's ears. Absolutely what John wanted. Just needs to keep it clean now. Keep in front. And it's John does to win.
Why is it whenever I commentate on a race, there's always a guy who's John who's just stupidly quick?
You liked FOA John B, and now you've got John.
I got my John back.
Oh no.
I'm not a fanboy, just passionate.
Quote from Matthew Gallagher.
It's so mad to think he's left WTF1. And Perry Jerry is ghosting.
Yeah, that's Monkey Badger. Not quite.
Oh, I beg your pardon, my bad.
But Perry Jerry is starting to lose a bit of time now on them hard tyres. He's getting close to a second out of that range of DRS, but he needs to try and keep in it. Otherwise he's going to start losing
doing
time.
a nice job to get out of the way.
Yeah, he has, yeah. Lovely job. And Perry Jerry has fallen out of a second, but he will get DRS off of his teammate.
I know he's ghosted, but it's like watching Lance Stroll on that car.
Insult much.
It's just the fact that he's ghosted. I'm not really criticising him. It's just I'm criticising this ghosted car. Anywho, let's get back to that guy.
Mr. Speaker's gonna be struggling on them softs towards the end, I think.
Yeah, he may have kept hitting them on about lap 28, 29, but yeah, you're right. Those soft tyres go off very, very quickly with pretty much any additional weight on the car, so let's see how his race performs, but let's see what inroads he can make in with deflated wheat. Not much, I think, but I stay pretty much the same up the front. It almost feels like John, unless he makes any mistakes, has pretty much got this in the bag.
He's just managing the gap.
Perry Jerry's fallen out of that 1 second by quite a bit now, and is about 2.2 to 10-10. So 10-10 just needs to create a bigger gap for Perry Jerry, and then he's got that position. But it isn't looking good for that guy if he wants to try and keep in front of Perry Jerry on penalties.
I always think we're talking about football when you say it like that.
Penalty shootout.
But that guy, he made a bit of a mistake coming out of turn 2, and that put him on the back foot, and that's kept Perry Jerry within 1.5, 1.6 seconds of him. So he'll chop out of DRS, I think, relation to 10-10. So, yeah, Perry Jerry, unless he does anything silly, is pretty much on for 4th place here, I'd say.
1.7, 1.8 now. Just needs to try and keep it clean at least for the last 5 laps. Otherwise, that could create the opportunity for that guy. But it looks like 10-10 is going to get the 3rd place.
Don't speak too soon.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a commentator's curse, but...
We all know 10-10.
I love it how 10-10 gets the flag for commentator's curse. Yeah, I'm the real criminal, apparently.
It's been a great start for 10-10. He was very unfortunate last season with how many spins he had and retirements, but he's had a great start this season.
Yeah.
Podium last race, potential podium this race, and a podium in 81. It's just all working out very well for him. He's actually doing some practice, so that might actually help him.
Well, in the words of George Russell, consistency is key.
And not 10-10's consistency of being in a wall.
Hey, you said that, not me.
He knows I'm joking.
Does he?
No.
Top Gun's back in a second of John.
For 4-lap old medium tyres, that's really good going.
Yeah, he's doing well on the
4-lap
mediums.
difference, rather.
He's doing well
Everyone's
on the
struggling.
mediums.
Looks like everyone's struggling for us, though. Nearly 3 seconds to get between Perry Jerry and that guy. But it's not like John needs to push. Gap's 4 tenths now, so he can afford to lose the place. He's just got to stay within 3 seconds, and he's mustard.
Deflated We must have had a half spin or something. He lost a place to Mr. Speaker. Coming out the last corner.
Well spotted, 7 tenths, almost 6 tenths now, coming up the back straight between the leading 2. It's kind of, it may be a mute overtake, however, it's still fun to watch nonetheless. As we see Top Gun come down to the first one, it's now 5 tenths the gap. Still very much status quo up in the front. As behind, the gap between that guy and Perry Jerry is now at 3.2 seconds, and Smaller Smiley is now past Perry Jerry.
I think Perry Jerry's struggling on them 19-lap-old cars now. He's now
I do think he's going to get him back here, though.
Yeah, possibly might get him back going into turn 4. Looks to the inside, but doesn't quite get close enough.
Oh, he's gone wide.
Runs wide. And that isn't going to help him in his fight against that guy, but that definitely brings Smaller Smiley into it. And I wouldn't rule Smaller Smiley out of the podium here. If he can gain some time on 10-10, they could get close to being a podium here.
He's got to make 8 tenths on 10-10.
Oh, and there's a bit of a wiggle there. And that definitely won't help his charge. That's
and Top Gun's made a mistake! So I've just been following Top Gun. He's dropped back to 1.3 seconds there, so that's it.
Back where he
That's Curtis
started.
in the lead.
All that progress, it's now gone. Oh, deflated wee right on the back of Mr. Speaker.
Tenton will be hoping that his teammate doesn't make it too hard for him.
Oh, and deflated down the inside of
and
Mr.
down
Speaker.
the inside, lovely move.
Can he keep it around the outside?
Round the outside.
Lovely stuff, but Mr. Speaker is going to have a run down into turn 1 if he can get some good traction. Might have lost a little bit of time there. The gap is 0.3 of a second. Has the DRS, opens it up. Can he get close enough into turn 1?
Surprise, Sun God.
I know, Voss
IIRL
isn't
J
here.
is here.
Voss is here, Tim.
I'm here!
Looks like Slater does have the move on Mr. Speaker now. I think Mr. Speaker is struggling with tyres and gets a 3-second time penalty.
That's going to drop him out of the points. Greg is 1.4 seconds behind, so that's going to drop him right out of the
Mr.
points.
Consistent is right behind Mr. Speaker. But we are on the last lap now, and we will just go with John, who, as he did last race, he just kept it extremely consistent once again.
This will be his second win in as many races, and obviously qualifying didn't quite go the way he wanted, but he made some brilliant progress in the sprint. However, he played the strategy well. When everyone else made mistakes, he remained pretty much faultless. So coming into Zhengzhou, TD, take him over the finish line.
Coming round the final proper corner, as long as he gets the traction, which he does, it's going to be 2 wins in a row for John. He's going to extend his championship lead by some more points to 10-10 as he crosses the line to win the Brazilian Grand Prix. And what a race by John there, crossing the line to win. Top Gun with a very solid race coming home in P2. 10-10 in P3. That guy coming home in P4, but will lose the place to smaller Smiley. Perry Jerry losing a lot of time on them hard tyres at the end, coming home in P6. Flew with another very consistent race in P7. AMS D-Bomb went a little bit under the radar, but is coming home in P8 in the AlphaTauri. Deflated Wee with a bit of a comeback drive for him after being P20 for both qualifying and the sprint. Comes up in P9 with Mr. Speaker just behind in P10. But I reckon Greg will get Mr. Speaker, and I think he did just about.
The setups.
Anyone knows?
R.I.P.
IIRL J forgot a setup.
R.I.P.
I'd have won that race as well.
Shout out to its family.
It is the man that says to put setups in every time we do a restart, and he forgets it.
I literally put in 2 minutes beforehand.
I thought there'd be nothing more ironic, eh?
But it is John who comes over for a second win of the season, extending his championship lead, and 10-10 getting another podium, which I don't think he'll be too sad about, at least.
Another very good drive as well.
Yeah,
From
indeed.
9th to 3rd.
I need to pick driver of the day now. I don't know who to pick.
If you just scroll down a bit,
It's-
fellow in 20th.
If we just
You know
stay
what?
there,
I think it's a
we
great
just stay
shout, great
there.
shout.
then we're then.
Look, it says 1-1, so that means he must have won.
I'd
driver of the
probably give it
day.
I'll give it to John. I mean,
I think it
no
has to be John,
mistakes.
doesn't it, really?
Yeah,
Mr. Consistent,
mistakes.
once again.
yeah, absolutely. Plus his name's John, and you all know another John on the stream.
Voss didn't get pole, Tim. He won the sprint race. Tim forgot
That'll
it
be
was a
John
sprint
John's.
race.
That'll be John John's second ever driver of the day, and he's had 2 driver days in a row.